Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm working my ass off during this time, but I wanted to bring you guys another review, and this time it's actually a review of some of the Mage Knights that I haven't shown you before. I bought this huge lot, and I showed you the majority of them, but there are a whole bunch of cool ones that I haven't even showed you yet. So I'm going to show you some of the really neat ones that I just got recently. Let's do it. Alright, first up we have, and I got a few of these, and these are so cool. Look at this. Look at the detail on that. This is like an orc riding some sort of beast, and I'm not sure what the actual animal is. It's called a horned impaler, whatever that is, but I'll probably rebase all these anyway. But just look at that. Actually, the orc is nice. He is gray. But I can always repaint and touch him up and make him greenish or gray or more like tannish, whatever you want. But I kind of didn't mind the gray, and I used these in my last game as a group of kind of riders riding in, and they were neat. And the beasts, I gave them a nice stat. I gave them a stat of like a drake, and it worked out really good. So these were really nice, and these are some of the later sets. Some of the earlier ones did not have this detail and this nice of a sculpt, but this is nice. Some of the dragons, if you remember, I pulled off the rider and just used the dragon by itself because I wasn't impressed with the rider. But these ones, I don't mind. These are orcs and they have bow and arrows, and they work well. So you can also pull off the rider if you want, but I think they work good. So that is those. So let's get into some of these other ones that have beasts. These are neat little guys. If you remember my old Mage Knights, and I'll put a link over there for the old Mage Knight videos, but if you remember, there were a bunch of these blue guys, and I used them. I talked about using them maybe as Dragonborn, or you can even use them as lizard men, some sort of lizard men. You can also repaint them if you want, but I didn't mind them being bluish in tone. But these have really neat, these are riding some sort of horse thing. So these are more riders on horses, and I used them in my last campaign again for goblins. They were goblin warg riders, and I replaced these with the goblin warg riders and just used the same stats for the goblins and the warg riders. But you can use them for anything you want. But anyway, those are neat little animal based things. Now these two are just incredible. I haven't used them yet. But look at that. Look at that. This is that same bluish creature riding a snake. How cool is that? Now, and what a great sculpt on that snake. Look at that. Great sculpt, great paint job on this snake. These later Mage Knights are really impressing me. The earlier stuff that the very first Mage Knight video I did was all of my earlier stuff that I had from way back in the day, and they weren't as cool. These are actually really nice. Look at that. And I don't know what kind of stat you'd give to that snake, but I'm anxious to find out when it comes upon. So that's kind of really cool. So now we just have a bunch of random ones. I'm just going to dump them out, and we'll see what I got. This guy is, I don't know what this is. He's a rock monster / orc / something. He can be used as a rock golem, maybe. Some sort of mutation that's hurling rocks. I actually had in my last campaign, I had a bunch of giants hurling rocks into the castle walls, so I could use that for something like that. So that's kind of a neat little figure. Here's a neat one. This is it says a troll, a medicine troll. And yeah, I think you can use this even like an orc, a medicine man orc or something. It is rather large compared to a normal character, so you have to go with the size. The Mage Knights are always a little bit bigger. That's why the creatures work way better than the actual player characters. So that's kind of neat little medicine man that you can use for whatever, even a shaman or something like that. And here are a couple of player characters that I thought were kind of neat. This first one is this first one says it's a night witch. And again, the faces on Mage Knights don't always impress me, but I don't care about the face usually because when it's on the table you can't see the face. But this is a neat little good pose, good sculpt, It has he's carrying some sort of bone handle thing with a bone skull on the end of it. And then I have this one, which I thought was really neat. This is a specter, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's no space between it's invisible. You can't see the head. You can't see the space between the shins and the thighs. That's kind of a really neat sculpt. Whoever thought of that was actually kind of a neat little. It was a great idea for some sort of specter or undead creature. Now here's one. Not sure what I can use it for, but it's really neat. It's called a spine sucker, and it's got a giant beak on the end of it. I don't know what I can actually use that for, but you can always find something. You can always, even if you wanted to, you can just cut the beak off and use it as an undead. Because look at that thing. It's a cool sculpt, good paint job. Can be used as some sort of undead thing. Never know. This is a neat one. I don't know if I showed you this one before, but this was a great little rock golem, like a golem come to life. You know, you can even use it right as it's called a gargoyle. It's called a vergoyle. But I think you can use it straight as a gargoyle, because it's just such a neat little sculpt and nice little paint job, although it's basic paint job, but I could always touch it up if I wanted to. But I think it's good as is. Most of these ones I got right here are good to go right on the table, I think. Here we go. This is a great one. This is a siren. This is a Solanavi siren. And that is a great sculpt, great paint job. I love the translucent wings, translucent body. This is just cool all over, all together. I think it's a great, used as some sort of siren or creature, any kind of winged creature for that matter, you can use it as. Now here are a couple more of these. I just want to show you these. I think I showed you these before, but these bluish kind of dragonbornish lizard men type things that you can use for just about anything. This one is kind of a strange one on some sort of plant. They're just neat. You know, you can use them. You can even just substitute them for goblins or lizard men is what I substituted them for, because they're a little big to be goblins. So I substituted them for lizard men. And I think they have great little sculpts and great paint jobs. So those are neat. And then the last two here, the first one is an orc. And this is a really neat little sculpt. I love the idea of the skull as a shield. So this is called a Mabak the Bully. This is probably a actual character within the game of Mage Knights, but I never played the actual game of Mage Knights. I always just liked the characters and used them for D&D. But anyway, this is a great little orc. It can be used as even a goblin boss or something like that as well. One of the bigger goblins. So that's neat. And then the last one I got, I think I showed you this before, but I use them all the time. It's just some sort of hound. This one I actually put another base on because I used it just recently in my game. But I use these. They're smaller than the real hellhounds that you can get from Nolgers, but I use them all the time. It's just regular either hellhounds or barguests or some sort of hound that you can use, even wolves at night. Just it's always nice to have other things. So there you have it, you guys. This is my lot that I hadn't showed you before, that I've been sitting there waiting, and I wanted to do another review and put a video out. Like I said, I'm working a lot these days, but my job ends in a few weeks, and hopefully I'll have some time to do some more creative stuff, because my 3D printer is just working around the clock. So you guys are going to be impressed with some of the stuff that I come up with next. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys soon with another cool video. Bye.